Well, welcome. Hey, everybody, it's Westopher. This is the Male Cosplay Pinups Live, and today we're talking to Dylan J. Bartholomew, who is a medieval history buff, practices swordplay, and streams on Twitch. And obviously, he is a cosplayer.
Mm,
Yes, Dylan,
hello.
explain your look today. I'm loving it. I know you've been putting it together over the past.
Yeah, I put this together very last minute.
This,
I had it all put away, thinking that there would be conventions and stuff, and then last year happened, and it's been sitting in a box.
yeah.
So it was me attempting to style a wig. It was me attempting to add fur on this cape and spruce it up a little bit, give it a little bit of a pizzazz. But it's Leon from Pokemon Sword and Shield. I have my Pokeball right
Yeah.
here somewhere, I think. Oh, we lost Charizard. Oh, there's Charizard. Okay. We got just my little
Well, we love.
Pokemon Go
Oh,
Pokeball.
yes. Can you show us the whole look? Do you have the whole look?
Yeah. I got everything on.
Oh,
I'm not pulling the whole COVID dress from the waist up. We got everything on.
that's fine.
So I've got my little like jersey here. I've got my tights. I got my boots,
Yeah.
and then my coat, and the full. So it's good. I love it. This is fun. It's comfortable to wear too. So it's not like armor or something weird.
And something hard to get around in, or
Mhm.
you do have a lot of layers though, so I'm sure.
It's layers, yeah, for sure. Tights under shorts is it's a look.
It looks good.
Well, thank you.
And don't we all love Pokemon?
Hmm
Yeah.
I was a late bloomer to Pokemon, very late bloomer.
Oh, you didn't watch it growing up?
Casually, I ended up watching a lot more Adult Swim anime than I should have. So I was into Cowboy Bebop before I was into catching them all. But
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have introduced you. There's a lot to dive into there, especially the medieval history, swordplay, all that stuff. Of course, we want to
my shtick.
hear about your Twitch and all that stuff. But first, Dylan, are you ready for a speed round of questions?
Okay. We'll see. What else can we be other than ready, right?
So easy. So here's speed round. Where are you from?
I am from Orange County, Southern California, born and raised. I'm about 20 minutes out from Disneyland for anyone who doesn't know what Orange County is.
A good point of reference.
Yes.
Good. Something you like to do. Question 2. Lightning round. Something you like to do out of cosplay.
Something I like to do out of cosplay is read. I'm a bookworm. I've always been a bookworm. I'm a big reader, so I got my babies all right here.
Reading right now.
What am I reading right now? I'm actually doing For God and Country. It's about Joan of Arc. So we will talk about Joan of Arc later. She's my favorite so far. It's a good book. Very, very good book.
All right. All right. Question 3. Favorite genre?
Oh, sci-fi.
Sci-fi. Okay. Favorite movie?
Blade Runner.
You're
The
good.
original.
Fast. You're right away. I love it. What's your next question? What's your favorite cartoon?
The old Looney Tunes. I grew up on Looney Tunes, so
Yeah.
I'm still a Looney Tunes buff.
The classic, for sure. All right. Next question. Favorite superhero?
Superman.
Yeah.
The OG.
There you go. All right. What are you currently watching?
WandaVision, but then again, aren't we all? So
We're contractually obligated to.
we have to.
God. Okay, bonus question for the lightning round. What superpower would you want?
Fitting superpower. Matter transmutation. Turn solids into gas, liquids into solids, lead into gold, all that jazz. If I have to touch things to do it, I'll take that. It's
Okay.
pretty OP, but I'll take it.
So you're all right. That's a thinking man's power.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta have some smarts behind that.
It gets me thinking of like Doom Patrol and Danny the Street and things of that nature,
Hmm.
where it's taking a power and extrapolating it to this. I mean, I would never imagine something like that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Creative. All right, bonus question. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Mm. Appreciate your time with family. Even if it's family you're putting together, not just blood. Appreciate your time with your family, your closest friends, because people go and they go on their own path. So stop being a loner, even if you're very comfortable being isolated. And I'm a very comfortable person being isolated, but get out there and, enjoy those memories. What do they always say? Like, you don't know you're in the best times of your life until they're already over, or something like that. So that's another one. Get out, enjoy friends.
Get outside, wear a
Get
mask.
outside. Yeah. Because there's going to be a whole year where you don't do that. And you're going to regret it.
Really gonna miss it. Yeah, I'll do. And I think a lot of, geeks sort of lean into their fandom and it's very like my room is my favorite place, I'm sure. Like where is your in front of your TV playing games, maybe your favorite place, right?
Yep.
That
Yep.
the warm glow of the television.
Mhm.
So
Burning out my retinas with all that blue light.
exactly, exactly. So what's something that you would like recommend for someone who is maybe getting into anime and knows of Pokemon and stuff like that, but doesn't know maybe a greater spectrum of? And
Um,
hard to find some. I mean, even on Netflix, like I try to find stuff, and it's really hard. They don't have that stuff.
um, Crunchyroll. And you know what you do is you never know what you're gonna like until you know you don't like it. So um, when you have your time and you're looking for a new series to watch, it never hurts to just literally spin the wheel
Hmm.
and get out there. And that's gonna branch you out because as you start looking into the fandoms, you realize like, oh wow, these people are great and creative and um, like JoJo was that for me, which JoJo is like huge now, but I remember totally just on a wheel spinning that and falling in love with it. And that was going to be my costume B was a
Oh,
JoJo cosplay. So um, and I went with this, but um, yeah, I mean like spin the wheel and trust. We have Crunchyroll now and we have like Funimation and stuff like that. So you're not necessarily at the whim of whatever like manga the comic book shop has like thrown in the back. Like you can do that. You can spin the wheel and start sort of branching out your interests
yeah.
until you get to like Spice of Life and people are just like cooking in slow motion.
Well, Dylan, we've talked about stuff that you like and where you're from. We've gotten to get a sense of you a little bit. Dive in. Okay, so first of all, a medieval history buff is very specific. So obviously, as someone who likes to read, I'm guessing that you're probably a fan of particular sets of books, maybe documentaries.
Hmm. I always had trouble struggling with fiction, which is weird. Film, love film, television. I'm bad at it, but I'm getting better. It's not that I don't enjoy a good story or storytelling, but my heart always lied with biographies, or if you can score it, an autobiography. And so, um, and in turn, that sort of derives itself to history. And you grow up liking superheroes, and then you start realizing that like stories are passed down. Superheroes are the they're the new generation of your Hercules, your King Arthur, all that stuff. And King Arthur is the creation of Charles the Great and stuff like that. Like all stories derive from a different story, and eventually they lead back most of the time to a person. So I real quickly got into history and European history because I kind of wanted to know where my family, what they were doing
Hmm.
way back when. Um, so it was a lot of European history that I kind of fell in love with and wanted to understand, and more specifically the icons of those eras. I think when you study great people, you can study. You have the benefit of figuring out all the things you're not supposed to do, especially with history and context. We've become a better society, but you
Yeah.
can also figure out a lot of things you can adapt into your everyday life. Um, these people were usually great. They did something that got them there. And so you can find those traits, that work ethic, that regimen, so to speak, and you can learn from people, whether they're civil rights leaders, whether they're kings, whether they're generals. Um, maybe you can adapt some of that in your everyday life. So when I study history, I study it really in a very, I don't know if it's the best method, but I study it. I find a person and I read all I can about that person, and then I find somebody else who was alive 2,000 years earlier. And the beautiful thing is, you're doing good when you're reading a book and they reference somebody else and you're like, I knew that person. So
Hmm.
I'm slowly starting to interconnect all the little webs.
Right.
So,
Who
yeah.
influenced who?
Hmm.
That I like about documentaries. I'm a big documentary buff myself, so you learn pieces of the world's history, and then you're like, wait a minute. So at this time, this was happening over here, but
Hmm.
exact same time, all of this stuff was happening over here, and you start to thread that stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it pieces itself together. I mean, you start seeing, and then there's so much overlap. The thing I find most beautiful about history is that we're not surprisingly all that different. I mean, people were doing these insane innovations in some cultures that other cultures didn't get to, um, for hundreds and hundreds of years. But in the end, I think we were all sort of like, we're so much closer and interconnected, and we all sort of have these really strong similar traits, particularly going back to superheroes that we idolize and we look up to. And so I try to, when I read not just to have dates on a board that I'm never going to be able to recall on the fly. I read for the philosophy of it. We're trying to figure out what made these people tick
Yeah.
and how can I better myself through that.
I love that. I love that lens, you know. I know everyone's saying hello, so we're waving. Ah.
Hello.
Uh, Great. So, to just switch it up, what about your practicing of the swordplay? Uh,
Oh.
where
Um,
did you pick this up? Where did you learn this from? How long have you been doing this?
I wanted, well, it started in college. Um, I was a theater major, and hello, I was a theater major. We got another hello,
To everybody.
and you in theater, there's a lot of things you learn. You learn how to control your voice. You learn how to control, your body. You learn how to control your emotions, how to get in touch with your emotions. But you also learn how to control. Part of controlling your body is stage combat. And so
Yeah.
I started from a stage combat origin with fencing and broadsword, and then I fell in love with that and wanted to start to learn to actually apply it. So I did broadsword combat for about a year, and then I gave it up, I guess, and I just focused on work and all these other things and 40 hours a week, and you just lose a lot of your interests. And so when this whole COVID thing happened, and I was stuck at home, and I needed an exercise regimen, um, I decided to try and pick up a sword again and just practice my blocks. It started with just blocks, just know your basic positions,
Hmm.
and then, go from there. and try to refresh your memory on these things. And it ends up being a really great workout for your forearms too.
Yes, I mean, I'm glad you had that sword laying around.
Mhm.
But yeah, you're right. It's a great workout, and it's a way to be active and do something that you're interested in without necessarily, you know, doing weights or being. I mean, like you can get like kickboxing, sword fight,
Mhm.
all of that stuff. You can get pretty winded just shadow boxing with some little soup cans in your hand.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I've got my heavy bag out there. Like I invested in one of those, and
A
you just
lot
got to make sure they're covered up in the rain. But
But a lot of it too is like repetition. You really have to learn
Mhm.
things and go over it again and again
Mhm.
and again.
Mhm. Yeah,
So in a way, I think that becomes meditative, doesn't it? Because
it
it's
does.
returning to and
Mhm.
making you stronger, but it's also kind of bringing you back to like when you first learned that.
Mhm. Yeah, it becomes its muscle memory, and it's of course, becoming stronger. It's strength training, but
Yeah.
but it's meditative also, and it's sort of zoning out of the world for a second and just being in touch with yourself and your movement. And yeah, I'm really really happy. I think I've got my where is it? I think I've got my practice blade over here somewhere.
Oh,
Um,
and you
this is my
say,
This is my baby. It's a messer. So it's just like a big knife, but it's real
it is.
and pointy. And this is my baby, so I need to polish it soon. But yeah,
Um, that's awesome. How heavy is that? How would you say?
uh, I'm so bad at determining weight. But swords aren't as heavy as we think they are. I mean, they're usually about 4 or 5 pounds, 3, 4, 5 pounds. It's the fact that it's stretched out, and
Hmm.
then you're just doing this for like 40 times, and that's gonna like do some work on your forearms, and your wrists. So I mean, they're efficient. That's why. Oh, my cape got stuck. No capes.
No games.
No
Oh,
capes.
really a question. I'm
Oh,
glad that I popped my glasses on for that. So if you love sword, what is maybe the sword fight that you've seen in pop culture?
there is a film called God, it's called, what is it called? The Duelist, I think. It's a period piece, and it's got a really good fencing like epee fight, and they depict the well. See, that's like a two-sided question, because I actually love the I love the uh, I love the duel in Star Wars Rebels. I don't want to give anything away, but Star Wars, of course, is so relative to Kurosawa
Hmm.
and those Japanese like samurai films. So in a way, Star Wars has delivered some of the best sword battles while still being like geeky. Um, but no, I mean there was a really great movie. I think it's called The Duelist. I'm probably totally wrong, but I remember watching it a long while back, and we studied it in school too, and it was a really great case of two guys who have deadly weapons in their hands, and they
Yeah.
both want to kill each other, but you also don't want to die. So you're not lifting your sword up and spinning around and doing pirouettes and stuff. Like it's two guys totally just like eyeballing each other and being careful, and I think it's a great fight. Other than that, I mean, Duel of the Fates, Episode 3, Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's just great, great shit.
Going for the classics.
Mhm.
As we begin to wrap up here, and time flies when we're having fun, I feel like I could literally do a 3 hour live with you.
Mhm.
But I wanted to get to you streaming on Twitch. Oh my God, I'm like a librarian. Checks notes. How you streaming on this thing they call the Twitch.
The Switch,
Uh,
playing the games, the
yes.
Pong.
Uh, so you stream on Twitch, you play on Twitch. What's your favorite game right now?
Right now, I'll always be a Dark Souls fan. So I'm doing a playthrough of Dark Souls 3, which is my favorite Souls game. But I'm also planning on picking up Fire Emblem. I've heard so many good things about Fire Emblem, so I think I'm going to try to start streaming that. And I'm also streaming Hitman too. No pun intended. Hitman 2 also. Because those are fun games and they have a lot of replayability. So Dark Souls. Dark Souls is my favorite series, period, for
Okay.
video games. Yeah, next to Metal Gear, but you know, that's a long story. So
Have you been streaming for a while? Did you take a break at all? I think
I started streaming in like October, or no, I'm sorry, not October, August, sort of, and then I took a break. I wanted to redevelop the whole channel to sort of be a unified vision with my Instagram, with the whole like, you know, pickle thing, the pickled sensei look. So I was like, I don't know why these two things are different. So
you had to get it
I
and
get it all into under one brand. So yeah, so I took a little break, redid the whole channel, learned to use OBS, learned to use capture cards, all that jazz. And now I'm actually going to start doing my first streams with like the full green screen, like ring lights, microphones, all that stuff. Probably either this evening or I'll probably do it tomorrow, I think. I need to start a schedule.
yeah. Well, that's I will say just try to, if you can, just develop consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you kind of keep it going. So
Yeah.
hopefully that's what we're going to start doing here on the IG Live,
Ooh.
live thing kids are doing. Hopefully every Friday we're going to bring you a new cosplayer. And Dylan, I really want to thank you for being our very first guest.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It
It's
is my pleasure.
it's the first live stream I've ever even done. So I feel like we both come a long way today.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Anything you want to mention or plug before we go? I want you to drop your Instagram handle.
Yes, on Instagram, on everything, I am Pickled Sensei. Um, there
Great.
might be an underscore at the beginning, and some, you know, capitalized letters, but most everything I'm Pickled Sensei, both on Instagram and on Twitch. So that's where I'm going to be doing my streaming, and that's really like my only social because Twitter is Latin to me. I just don't get it. It's just over my head.
Yeah.
So those are like my big socials. I mean, the only thing I really want to pitch is that I actually had the wonderful opportunity, and I'll make this quick, to end up donating. We donated about $1,200 through Raffle of the Day to the ACLU. So I've always admired their work, and I've tried to do, you know, as much charity work for them as I can with little like fundraisers and stuff like that. But I won my PlayStation 5 and my 65-inch TV, and the trade-off was that all the money earned through said raffle, all the money donated goes to a charity of my choosing. So yeah, we chose the ACLU, and we ended up raising, like I said, about $1,285. So yeah.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Well, I hope you continue to use your advocacy and and again, I really thank you for joining us. I know you put this literally we're putting this look together. You say you finished this what last night, today?
Yeah, last night. Finished it last night. Finished the wig, and then I started like this, you know, Monday or Tuesday or whatever it was. So yeah, sprucing it up, making it look good.
Yeah, no, great. I love that you came up with something brand new for us, and I hope everyone watching takes a look at your Instagram and sees all of your cosplays. You always go all out. You're definitely one of my favorite cosplayers because you really embody the
Well, thank you.
whole look from head to toe.
I have one coming up. I'm having my first contest piece. I've always wanted to do a contest piece. I
Nice.
have my first contest piece coming up, and I want to get that ready so when cons do open,
Yeah.
I can enter and try to get myself a nice little medal or something. We're
Ah,
going for the gold.
there you go. Well, I'm voting for you. Uh,
Thank you.
I want to thank everyone who tuned in and is watching. We really thank you for popping on and taking the time to give us your attention and all the little hearts floating up on the side. So thanks for tuning in. Until next time, take care.
Take care.
Thank you. Goodbye. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon.
All right. Now I'm going to try to save this without, I'm trying to turn it off without deleting it.
Oh, good. That's the important part. Or we got to rewind and do it all over.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining. Again, we'll post this as a video, and you'll be able to go see it. Make sure that you're following the Male Cosplay Pinups. Make sure you're going to the Male Cosplay Pinup Patreon. That's where you can see some really amazing, amazing, and sexy ass male cosplay as well. There is so much content. I mean, the library is unbelievable. So you really, really should check it out. And of course, we're going to bring new things like the live chats every Friday as well. So look out for some new content there as well. So check out the Patreon, Male Cosplay Pinups. Make sure that you're getting the best of what there is to offer from our channel. And we'll see you next week.